Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are digging into a Korean self-help book that has a really powerful message, especially if you feel like you are just constantly running on empty. It's called Young Teachers One-Shot PT, and trust me, it offers a kind of training that's built for the unique pressures of living in the world today. So if you're in your 20s or 30s, maybe you're wrestling with work, worrying about your health, stressed about money, well, the book kicks off by saying you are so not alone. It's actually talking about a very specific kind of burnout that's hitting a whole generation. The book's whole argument really starts with this sharp contrast. For the baby boomers, motivation was almost built in. The goal was clear: work hard, escape poverty, and opportunities would show up. But for young adults today, that whole reality has been flipped on its head. You're born into a world that looks abundant, but real, meaningful opportunities are scarce, and the competition is just fierce. Now, the key here is that this isn't about blaming anyone. It's not about pointing fingers. It's just about recognizing that the game itself has changed. The pressures are different, the environment is different, and that means you need a totally new set of tools to find any kind of balance or well-being.
And that's where the author introduces his big idea: a one-shot personal training program. But it's not for the gym. This is more like a prescription for how to reclaim your entire life.
So the author, Kim Young, is an acupuncturist out in New Zealand, and he's designed this program to tackle everything all at once. His philosophy is that you can't fix your burnout at work if you don't fix your body, and you can't fix your finances if you don't fix your mindset. It's all connected. The program itself is this really structured 3-week journey. It kicks off in week 1 with the absolute essentials: your physical and mental health, and then it builds out from there. For today, we're really going to unpack the core lessons from that critical first week.
So the most important lesson of this entire first week is just learning to listen to your body. The book argues it is constantly sending us signals, and it highlights 3 really big ones that most of us have basically been trained our whole lives to ignore. The very first lesson is about pain, and it's a pretty radical idea. What if that nagging backache you have, or that constant tension in your shoulders, what if it isn't just a physical problem? What if it's actually your mind trying to get your attention?
The book brings up this concept called tension myositis syndrome, or TMS, and the theory goes like this. Our unconscious mind, in an effort to shield us from really difficult emotions like anxiety or anger, will create real physical pain to act as a distraction. Your brain literally decides a sore back is easier to deal with than some deep-seated stress. And get this number comes from Dr. John Sarno, the guy who pioneered this whole idea. He found that a staggering 88% of his patients who came in for chronic pain were also suffering from other stress-related issues, like tension headaches or IBS. The connection was just too strong to be a coincidence. Okay, so the second signal our body sends us is through its reaction to food. And instead of just giving us a list of eat this, not that, the author shares this incredibly personal family story that makes the point way better than any scientific chart ever could.
The story begins with a crisis. His young son developed a severe autoimmune condition called purpura, which caused these painful, just awful rashes all over his legs. And modern medicine was offering treatments, but it couldn't offer a cure.
So the author and his wife, who's a health advisor, they decided to try something completely different. They believed so strongly in food as medicine that they put the entire family on this radical new diet. It was strictly vegetable-based, no processed foods, no animal proteins, and at the absolute center of it all was one ingredient: carrots. And I mean, they didn't just dip their toes in. They went all in. They were buying 40 kilograms, that's almost 90 pounds of carrots every single week. It got to the point where they became famous at their local market. The vendors literally nicknamed them the Carrot Family.
The family ate so many carrots that their skin literally started to get a slight orange tint to it. But here's the incredible part. As their bodies were changing, something truly miraculous happened. The son's autoimmune disease, it just completely disappeared, vanished. All right, the third and final signal is all about sleep. And the book asks us to reframe how we think about it. Stop seeing sleep as just time off. Instead, you should see it as the single most critical work shift of the day for your body.
So every night, your body is supposed to fire up this regeneration factory, repairing cells and producing crucial hormones. The foreman of this whole operation is a hormone called melatonin. The problem is, melatonin is incredibly sensitive to light. That blue light from our phones and our screens, it essentially tricks our brain into thinking it's still daytime. which tells the foreman to shut the factory down right when we need it the most.
Okay, so we've looked at pain as an emotional signal, food as medicine, and sleep as this vital repair cycle. So what's the one big idea that connects all of these things?
It's a concept the author calls health sovereignty. And honestly, this is the core principle of the entire book. It's the idea that you, and only you, are the ultimate authority on your own body. It's about making a shift from being a passive patient who just takes advice to being an active driver of your own well-being. Think about it like this. Your body is a data-producing machine. That chronic pain, that afternoon energy crash, the fact you can't sleep well, that's not just random noise. That is valuable information. And health sovereignty just means you stop ignoring the data and you start acting like the lead analyst.
At the end of the day, it really all boils down to this one powerful statement from the book. You are the owner. Doctors, trainers, authors, they can all be your advisors, but you're the CEO. The final call and the responsibility is all yours.
So we'll leave you with this one final thought. If you were to just stop, right now, and truly listen, putting aside all the external noise, what's the one signal your body is trying to send to you?